evening, Instagram. Welcome to my live session. I'm Dr. Adeola. I'm a psychiatrist and a mental fitness coach. I'm the founder of Talk Mental Health. I welcome you today. Happy Friday. I hope your week has been amazing. Please tell me your name and where you're tuning from. Hi, Ifi. Thank you for joining. Hi, Mental Health with DT. Thank you for joining. Could you please confirm if you can hear me loud and clear? How has your week been? I hope you're good. I hope your week has been amazing, basically. Please confirm if you can hear me loud and clear. Today is going to be awesome. We're going to have conversations about how to prioritize our mental well-being, how to give ourselves grace, how to be kind to ourselves. And how, so that's what we're going to be talking about. So please make sure you stay till the end. And if you have questions, please do not hesitate to ask. How's your week been? Just in one word, tell me how your week has been. Just drop in the comments. How has your week been? Fantastic, amazing, fantabulous, exceptional. Whatever it is your week has been, just drop. Let me know. Just say it as it is. If your week has also been overwhelming, feel free to write. Feel free. All right, guys. I'm waiting. Can you hear me? I need to know if you can hear me. By the way, I love this cup. It was a gift from my dear husband. I love the cup. Yeah. It says to my wife, never forget that I love you. Oh, I digressed, right? But I just am fascinated by the cup. I always love the cup. I always love to use the cup. So I need to know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? How has your week been? Drop in the comments. How has your week been? Tell me. Today is going to be a very special live session I want to talk about. But before we proceed, I just want you to know that as a mental fitness coach, my mission or my vision or my passion is for you to be on top and in charge of your mental well-being. So I want you to ensure that you take care of your mental health, because I believe your mental health is important. As long as you've got a brain, your mind is important. So yes, I'm a psychiatrist. Yes, I treat people with mental illness. But one of the most important things that I love to do is to encourage, teach, help people to be in charge of their mental well-being. So that's why you see that I come on live to talk about what you can do, how to prioritize self-care, tips that can help you become, intentional about your mental health. So I'm not just here talking about mental illnesses. I'm here, my audience is you, just you. As long as you're alive and you're living and you've got a brain, then you are my fan, you are my audience, you are someone that I've been sent to. I believe I've been sent to because I want you to be proactive about your mental health so you don't have to break down. Or even if you're at the verge of breaking down, you know what to do, and it helps you recover quickly from the mental illness. All right. So I'm not the one to say, let's say, God forbid, it's not a portion, but I'm the one to let you know that no, you have to be on top of it. You have to be in charge, like be proactive, basically. I don't want to be repeating myself, but it's just for you to understand that's what I do. Passionate about helping people live better lives, take care of their mental well-being, helping people elevate in all areas of their life, in their personal life, in their relationships, in their career, finances, because I believe that as your mental health has to be top-notch, has to be good for you to elevate in all these important areas of your life. First yourself, because that's your personal life. If you cannot take good care of yourself, then you will not be able to help others around you. So first, I believe in filling your cup up. I believe in prioritizing your own self-care so that you can have something to give to others. So that's my aim, that's my passion, that's my vision. And if I believe if this aligns with what you really want, you should follow me. Follow me on my page. Make sure that you turn on your post notifications so you see the things that I share from time to time, because it's tailored towards helping you live a holistic, well, and great life. Because I help you to be able to discover your potential so that you know that, oh, I have this passion, I have this purpose, I can elevate. Even though I'm struggling, I can still show up, I can still be my authentic self, I can elevate myself and become the highest version of myself. So that's what I do basically, for those who don't know. All right. So if you can just confirm, I just need someone to confirm that they can hear me. If you can hear me, let me know. Let me know. If you can hear me, I hope I'm not breaking up. I hope the connection is good. Just let me know if you can hear me. Otherwise, I'll just dive straight into the topic, from shame to grace. So what is shame? What is grace? From shame to grace. I just thought about this topic because I realized that a lot of times we become too critical of ourselves, and that forms the basis of a lot of mental health issues. People that have depression, people that have low self-esteem, people that have anxiety, people that are probably body dysmorphic disorder, that are not quite confident in themselves, and all mental illnesses, as you may think or you may know, that are available or that we have. The underlying issue is not being too critical of yourself and not being able to show yourself as much kindness as you give to others. So that's one of the reasons why a lot of people suffer with being able to set healthy boundaries, being able to, people going out of their way above and beyond to be there for others. And it's all because we are not giving ourselves grace, and we have been faced with a lot of shameful events in our lives. So that's one of the reasons why I thought it would be nice to talk about how to move from shame to grace. How to move from shame to grace. All right. So first thing I want you to know is that shame is unhealthy. So I'll start by saying shame is unhealthy. Shame is not a way of you accepting your mistakes, no matter how much of mistakes you've made, no matter how bad you think you are, no matter how the mistakes you think you've made in your past. You are not supposed to feel shameful because of those past mistakes. Even if you are still in a position where you are you're currently still struggling with some of your weaknesses, shame isn't something that you have to feel. So the reason why you feel shame is because there have been a lot of experiences there's been a lot of experiences you've had from your childhood that is affecting how you perceive yourself. So there's a difference between shame and guilt. Yes, it's okay to feel guilty when you've done something wrong. But when you feel shameful, then it means that you are personalizing your wrongdoings. You're personalizing it. And because you're personalizing it does not necessarily mean that you will get better at it. People that personalize their wrongdoings or their things they've done that is bad doesn't necessarily mean that you will get better. So just imagine, because you have name called a child for doing something, or you are saying someone or you called someone out, it doesn't necessarily mean that the next time they won't do it. Because some people, they come up with this kind of defense to say, oh, I'm not, because you are saying this, you're accusing me of doing something. Then they come up with defense. That means they're not open. Their heart is not open to change. So it's until you understand that there's a difference between shame and guilt, you will continue to feel shameful for the things you do that are wrong. And honestly, believe me, we've all done things that we wish we could undo. We've said things in moments where we're quite emotional that we wish we could take back. We all have regrets. And honestly, it's okay. because you're human. We are all human. You are human. I am human. And it's absolutely fine to make mistakes. So I think that's more like the first thing I need to say, more like the foundation. Being vulnerable enough, being open enough to understand that I am human. So we're talking about from shame to grace. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? So that's the topic here, from shame to grace. So we're talking about how shame can limit and impact you from becoming the highest version of yourself, how it can affect your mental health, and how it can prevent you from getting to the point you're supposed to do as a human. All right? So that's what we're talking about. Okay? So when I talk about shame, shame is limiting. Shame is what makes you become too critical of yourself. Shame is what prevents you from experiencing that thing that God has created or that's created you for. You cannot rise above the level of what you believe you can because of shame. Shame will limit you from becoming your authentic self. Shame will limit you from showing up. And why do we feel shame? The reason we feel shame is because we have internalized some of the words or negative words that have been said to us. So because you've personalized your mistakes, you've personalized bad experiences and all, then it leads to shame. And I said there's a difference between shame and guilt. So being guilty is okay. It's okay for you to feel guilty for the things you've done wrong and try to make amends, right? But when you personalize your bad experiences, bad experiences and, past mistakes, then it becomes difficult for you to separate the event from your person. So the fact that you made a mistake does not mean that you're a mistake. The fact that you failed at something doesn't make you a failure. The fact that you messed up something doesn't make your life miserable. The fact that you've had a particular bad experience in it does not mean that the whole day is a bad day. All right? So shame is what makes you feel that is the whole thing. It's a negative emotion, very intense negative emotion that makes you feel that you are not good enough. It makes you feel that you're not worthy. It makes you feel that you're not worthy of love, worthy of doing good things because of the mistakes you've made. All right? So my point is that you being able to separate events from your person is what helps you, gives you that freedom from shame. Okay, I'm going to talk about the concept of self-blame, all right? So self-blame is a silent prison. It keeps you in that loop, and that makes you feel like you have done the worst thing that anyone could ever think of. Whereas you don't understand that as much as you're struggling for certain weaknesses you've got, a lot of people are also struggling. In fact, even if not worse than the way you are feeling, they are also struggling. But because people would often come out to show you their best self, you perhaps don't know, you may not know what they are struggling with. So, but if you continue to live in that mindset of blaming yourself and shaming yourself for your mistakes, for the things you've done, for your weaknesses, then you're going to struggle. All right? So it's going to affect you from becoming fully expressive and coming out to say, yes, I am the best person, I am amazing, and all of that. All right? So you have to learn how to be shameless. You have to learn how to be what? Be shameless. Being able to move away from shame to give yourself a lot of grace. All right? To give yourself a lot of grace, to give yourself a lot of, kindness, compassion, just the way you will do to some other people. A lot of people are struggling with depression, high functioning depression, anxiety, and are not able, they're struggling with their confidence just because they believe they're not good enough. They feel ashamed of what they are, who they are, and their mistakes. So they allow the shame to continue to go with them wherever they go. So it is very important for you to understand that you are human. And until you understand the concept of humanity, that I am human and it's okay for me to make mistakes, you will not be free from the mistakes you've made. And until you let go and understand that you're human and forgive yourself when you make mistakes, you cannot move from shame to grace. So we have to learn to be gracious to ourselves. We have to learn to give ourselves grace. You have to learn to be kind to yourself. You have to learn to take it easy on yourself. All right? So I need you to write in the comments as you're listening to me. I release what I can't change. Because there's certain times, sometimes you may not be able to change certain circumstances. Especially things that have gone, things that have passed. It's already in the past. But sometimes we hold on to it and we find it difficult to forgive ourselves. All right? We find it difficult to let go of the hurt and the pain. And the truth is that you can't go back to change what you've done. You can't undo what you've done, whatever it is. So I'm talking about you now. You can't undo what you've done. So you have to be able to say that this is something I cannot change. If you can make changes, that is fine. But you have to release what you can't change. So I need you to write in the comments and say, I release what I can't change. I release what I can't change. Thank you, Queen Faith. I release what I can't change. You need to say that. The reason I'm saying you need to say that, there's something about you speaking what you want. Yes, you may know that you can't change something and you really want to release it, but until you open your mouth to speak what you want, you may not experience the change that you want. So you have to say, I release what I can change. And say, I give myself grace. I give myself grace. I release what I can't change. I give myself grace. Let's put it in the comments. I release what I can change. I give myself grace. All right? So we need to understand that forgiveness allows you to take your power back. Be it whether you're forgiving yourself or you're forgiving others. So that is what relieves you or take the shame away. Being able to forgive yourself and being able to forgive others. And honestly, sometimes when we struggle to forgive others, it's a reflection of who we are. So the fact that you're unable to forgive others, it's because you yourself can't forgive yourself. All right? So if you can't forgive others, it's just showing that I won't forgive myself. So you may think that you're doing okay, but honestly, perhaps you're holding on some things, certain things that's causing bitterness, it's causing resentment, and it's keeping you from enjoying the whole, the peace, giving, it's stopping you from experiencing inner peace, and it's keeping you from becoming the best person you could ever be, affecting your interpersonal relationship with people and all of those. Until you release what you can't change, you can't experience grace. You can't experience grace. So see, if I'm holding this, if I'm holding on to this, then I can't have something else. So let's assume that this is the hurt you're holding on to, the mistakes you've made in the past. Yes, you're holding on to it like this. But if you don't release it, there's no way grace can come in to this hand. You have to let it go and ensure that your hands are empty so you can embrace grace. You can embrace the new things that is about to come to you. So it is important for you to have that mindset. And the reason I'm saying this and I'm repeating it is because I know that a lot of people that have got depression, they often are quite so critical of themselves. So they become so critical, they beat themselves up, they overanalyze issues, they are very, very too critical, very negative. They have this negative mindset, they have this cognitive bias, they ruminate on negative thoughts and all that. And it all stems from not being able to release hurts, not being able to release people's mistakes, not being able to free people, free yourself and free people from when they've hurt you. So when you hold on to that hurt, you become shameful, be it hurt that you yourself have caused or hurt that people caused you. So when you hold on to it, you become shameful, right? And you will never be able to experience grace. And that's exactly why your mental health is not in good shape. That's why you're struggling. You can't even think of negative, you can't even think of positive things, you can't have good ideas, you struggle with relationship with people, you struggle with your job, you struggle with your career, even your own personal life, you're struggling. Some people struggle with sleeping because, of course, unforgiveness is like poison. It poisons you. Self-blame is like poison. All right, so it causes a lot of physical health issues, causes cardiovascular problems, causes headache. You can't sleep well. So there are a lot of toxins in your body just because you are holding on to hurts and bitterness against yourself. Bitterness against yourself. Some people are so fond of calling themselves names just because they've made mistakes. Saying things like, oh, I'm stupid, oh, I'm bad, oh, I'm that. Saying those negative things just because you know you've done something wrong. And I'm not saying this just from a place of someone that is righteous. We're all guilty of this. We do this a lot. And it takes a lot of intentionality to move from a place of shame to a place where you are so gracious to yourself, where you are so compassionate with yourself, where you are able to cut yourself some slack and understand that, oh, it's okay. Yes, I'm struggling now, but it's okay. I'm going to let myself be kind. I'm going to be kind to myself. I'm going to give myself a lot of grace. And today I'm going to share with you 4, or I think, is it 4 or 5? Yeah, 5 steps that can help you break free from self-blame. So if you are here and you are struggling, with self-blame, if you find it difficult to let go of shame, if you find it difficult to let go of hurts or critical comments towards yourself, I want you to ensure that you continue to stay to the end, all right? I'm going to share with you 5 steps that will help you break free from self-blame, that would help you embrace grace, so that from now henceforth you become too kind to yourself. Just the way you are kind to your friends, you have to learn how to be kind to yourself, because that's exactly what will help you become your mental health. Is going to protect your mental health from a lot of toxicity. All right, so it's going to help you. It's going to reduce the level of stress you are faced with. So the level of cortisol you have, the level of neurochemicals imbalances in your brain would reduce just because you're being kind to yourself. Okay, so like I said, say to yourself, I release what I can't change. I give myself grace. If you're just joining, say, I release what I can't change. I give myself grace. Say that, I release what I can't change. I give myself grace. So the first step to overcoming and breaking free from self-blame is for you to acknowledge that you are too critical of yourself. A lot of people are in denial. They'll be like, what? This is mean. That. So you have to first of all acknowledge that this is what you do to yourself. And you acknowledge that this is actually detrimental to your health. So you have to acknowledge that this is wrong and I have to stop. All right? So the first step is I have to learn to forgive myself. I have to be open to self-forgiveness. I have to stop blaming myself. So you have to learn to acknowledge that this is what you do to yourself. The first step to breaking free from self-blame, the first step to moving, when you want to move from shame to grace, is you have to acknowledge that you've been too hard on yourself. All right, so that's the first step. Why did it hurt me? What happened to me? These are the questions you need to ask yourself. What happened? And why did this hurt me so much? Why do I feel so bad? Why am I, feeling this way? And the way you can understand this is when you know what your triggers are, and you are able to identify the signs that you feel when you're triggered. Say, for instance, some people, once they, what triggers them, once they have a negative thinking pattern, they start to feel some movement in their body. Some people would have palpitations, some people have headache, some people won't be able to sleep. It's you being able to sit with yourself, be self-aware enough to know what goes on in your body when you're stressed. That's exactly how you know what to do. Because sometimes we are too busy. We live on autopilot, and we get so busy that we don't pay attention to what our body tells us. So when I say acknowledge, I mean sit with yourself. Be self-aware enough to know when things are not right with you, whether be it in your mental or physical health. Your mind and body are interconnected. So sometimes your mind, you might not be able to note it, but your body will tell you that something is wrong. Sometimes it might just be that you have palpitations, increased heart rate. Sometimes it might just be headache. Sometimes you might not be able to sleep. So when you're self-aware enough, you know that something is wrong. Maybe I've said something to myself. Maybe I'm feeling bad because of this. Acknowledgement. And how do you acknowledge? Is by becoming self-aware. That's the first step. Want to move from shame to grace. If you want to break free from self-blame, then you need to be self-aware. All right? So that's the first way. Then the second step is for you to separate your identity from the event. Separate your identity from the events that happen, from your actions. Separate your identity from your actions. It's very, very important. You can't continue to personalize the things you've done wrong. No way. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, right? You are amazing. When God created you, God said, you are very good. God has created a lot of things. Created the ocean, the water, the fishes, the animals, and then he created you and said, you are very good. So how come? How would you now say, oh, I'm a bad person? Wow. Because of you've done something? The fact that you've done something wrong does not make you a bad person. You did something bad. So that's an event. That's your action. You need to learn to separate your person from your actions. I know it's hard, especially when you have been raised you had this background where you would experience a lot of criticism, critical comments towards you, people telling you, oh, because you've done this, you're always like this. They've made negative comments towards you, and you've internalized this negative comments such that they've become your core beliefs. So you already personalize it. It's going to take a lot of work, and that's why sometimes you need therapy. You need cognitive behavioral therapy to challenge those thinking patterns so you can change them. All right? So my point is that you have to learn to separate your person from your actions. Okay? Separate your person from your actions. You are human, and because you're human, you've got your strengths and your weaknesses. So there's no 100% perfect human being. God is the only one that is perfect. Even Jesus Christ, when he was in human skin, had his own imperfections as well. So just imagine you, that you're not even God, you're just human. That you have a lot of flaws, and it's okay. So at this point, this is a time when you need to embrace your imperfections, embrace your flaws, embrace your weaknesses, embrace everything you've got, all of you. That's what makes you human. All right? So you need to be able to separate who you are from what you've done. Separate who you are from what you've done. Don't personalize your mistakes. Don't personalize your wrongdoings. It's okay to feel guilty, but no, don't be ashamed of the things you've done. It's okay to feel guilty, but never be ashamed of the things you've done. All right? So I know that a lot of people will say, because I've done this, I've made this mistake, they don't want to come out, they don't want people to know, and all. That's exactly what happens. Just because you're ashamed. But it's okay to come out and say, oh, I did this in the past, but now I'm this and that. It shows that you are making progress. It shows that you are improving. All right? So it's only when you decide to continue in that negative behavior, with that negative behavior and doing that wrong thing over and over again, that's what makes you that kind of person. But if you are making effort to change, then that's not who you are. It's just an action, and you're working towards becoming better. All right? So the second point, separate your identity from your actions. Never forget that. I hope you're following. Is it making sense? Let me know, 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 let me know. All right? So the third point is that you have to affirm yourself. You have to affirm yourself. Affirm yourself with the right words. So say, for instance, I made a mistake, but I'm not a mistake. That's the affirmation. I made a mistake, but I'm not a mistake. I messed up, but I'm not a mess, right? I failed, but I'm not a failure. So you need to affirm yourself. Like, when we started, I said, I release what I can't change and I give myself grace. Sometimes you have to say these things, say these statements, these affirmations. It's very important. You know why? It's not just words. It's not just, you're just following a routine or following a pattern. It's important because the words you speak to yourself registered in your brain. It registers in your brain and your brain replays it over and over again and it becomes your reality. Your thoughts affects the way you feel and your feelings affects the way you behave. So you have to be mindful of what you say to yourself. Haven't you experienced this when somebody calls you out or tells you off and says bad things about you? How does it make you feel? If someone says bad things about you, how does it make you feel? Tell me, how does it make you feel? If someone says bad things about me, of course, I'm going to be upset. So I'm going to be angry. I'm going to feel bad. It depends on whether I'm seeing that as right or I'm upset. So you can experience varying types of emotions. You can be upset. You can feel sad. You can start crying. Or you can try to be defensive and all that. Just because someone has said something, that's how powerful the words are. So you have to ensure that all your 5 senses, the right words, the right messages are entering your brain through your 5 senses. What you see, who you listen to, what you hear, all right, what you say to yourself, what you feel. And the other time, last week, I was just sharing here where I said that sometimes you have to hold yourself and give yourself that, that warm, squishy hug. You don't have to wait for people to give you a hug. You can do it yourself because what you are doing is that you are stimulating your senses such that your brain understands that, oh, I can be loved. And as you do this, oxytocin, which is love hormone, is released in your body. So it doesn't have to be you hugging someone. You can hug yourself. So my point is your 5 senses is like a gateway to your mental health. It's a gateway to your mind. Whatever it is you see, you hear, you listen to, you say, you smell, all right? And you feel would always have impact on your mental health. So you have to guard your heart jealously. You have to ensure that you protect all these 5 senses such that your mind is filled with positive things. So like I said, the third point is you have to affirm yourself. I have made a mistake, but I'm not a mistake. I made a mess, but I'm not a mess. All right, I failed, but I'm not a failure. You have to tell yourself from time to time. Give yourself grace. Be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself. It's okay to make mistakes. Embrace this and be confident. Don't let your mistakes define who you are. All right, is that making sense? So we are talking about how to break free from self-blame. A lot of people are struggling just because they feel they've made mistakes about some of the decisions, that about their life in the past. They feel like, oh, my life is not going to move forward because of this. But it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie that you have given, you've lied to yourself. You're not being honest with yourself because many people make mistakes, but the only people that will become successful regardless of their mistake are people that will decide to pick themselves up and keep moving forward regardless of what they've done. All right? So it's your own responsibility to take charge and not let your mistakes define you. You can give yourself grace. You can stop being shameful. You can move from shame to grace, and you can break free from self-blame. All right? Is this making sense? Are you following me? Let me know. Okay. So I've got 2 more points to go. How to break free from self-blame, how to get your power back, and how to be in charge of your mental health. All right? So the 4th point is you have to make peace with the process. You have to make peace with the process. So it's not automatic. You won't automatically feel all right. So yes, you've done something bad. You know that it's unheard of. It's bad. So there's no automatic recovery from the past. You have to make peace with the process. It's going to hurt. There will be times where the guilt will come. There'll be time where you feel so down. There'll be time where you feel like, oh, I'm so worthless, I'm nothing. Oh, why did I do that? It will come back. And then that's where the affirmation, the third point, comes again. You affirm yourself. So I have a lot of affirmations that compassion affirmations, positive affirmations, audacious affirmations. There has to be affirmation. You have to affirm yourself. This world, this world is filled with a lot of negative things. You have to continue to affirm yourself from back to back. Like, you have to have different affirmations. Tell yourself good things. Tell yourself you can do it. Because the process is not always going to be, your journey is not going to be good, going to be a straight one. There will be times when you feel low. There will be times when all the things you've done in the past will come to you and you'll feel, but there will be times when people will remind you. So people will even remind you when you've thought that you've gone and you've moved on. That's when they will come and tell you, this is what you did. This is how you did it. All right. So you have to be patient. You have to understand that it's a process. You will not automatically get better. You will not automatically forget. All right. So we're talking about how to break free from self-blame. So you will not automatically forget. You will not automatically get better. But you have to be patient with the process. All right. So you have to acknowledge, yes, even if when those things come to you, when you remember or when somebody reminds you, you say, hey, I've heard, I know I did that and I know it was bad and I've admitted to my mistake. I'm going to work on it. I'm even working on it. I'm improving. So you have to remind yourself. Don't forget what I told you about the 5 senses. You can't just think that because you've thought about it, it's fine. You have to remind yourself and speak to yourself. Stand in front of your mirror and tell yourself, oh, I have acknowledged it and I'm working on myself and I'm going to get better. I will give it time. I'll be patient with myself. These are the words you need to say to yourself. These are the words you need to say to yourself. All right, are you following me? Are you following me? Are you following me? So make peace with the process. It will not be automatic. It will take time. It will hurt. It will be painful, but make peace with the process. Okay? So the final way to break free from self-blame and move from shame to grace is for you to start living like you're forgiven. So you have to start living like you're forgiven. You have to start living by faith, just like the Bible says that the just shall live by faith. You have to live like you're forgiven. So say, for instance, you've done something wrong, all right? Maybe in the past, in a relationship, you did something so bad. Maybe you walked out on the guy or the lady, or you cheated on your ex, and whatever it is you've done. You can't say, oh, because of that, I'm not going to start dating again. Because I know I did something so bad and this is why all of this happened to me. So maybe I don't deserve to date or something. You can't say that. You have to continue to live your life as like you have been forgiven. Continue to live like you have moved on. Even if the pains are still there, it's okay to show up in pain. It's okay to show up unhealed. It's okay to show up with your wounds. It's okay. It's okay to not feel good, but still show up. It's okay. You can thrive in pains. You can thrive and be the best person or be the highest version of yourself, regardless of what you're going through. So my point is, you have to start living like you're forgiven. You won't completely feel forgiven until you don't have to wait till you feel forgiven or till you feel great within yourself before you start living. So you can't wait. You don't know when that will happen. And honestly, the healing will come as you proceed. The healing will come as you continue to live your life. So you can't just sit down and do nothing and expect to heal. You have to continue to do and live and be the best version of yourself, showing up for yourself, living your life the way you want to live it, working on yourself, improving on yourself. And that's exactly when you will start to feel better. All right. So the self-blame will gradually reduce. The critical comments will gradually fade away, and you start to feel more confident within yourself. Okay. So the truth is that self-blame is poisonous. It's dangerous. It can destroy one's life, basically. Like self-blame or being too critical, it would limit you because you will always find reasons not to move forward with whatever it is you're doing. Say, for instance, in a relationship, if you're so critical and you believe, I don't deserve this, I am not, I don't want to be saying this because I know words are powerful, and you say so many negative things about yourself, it will register in your brain. And the one thing about this brain is, it just keep attracting whatever it is you say. If you say you're not good enough, you will always make mistakes and you will never be good enough. That's how the brain works. Whatever it is you say to yourself is what's going to come to you. And that's why we have to be careful. And whatever you say to yourself is as a result of what is deposited in you. So I always tell people, I stopped following bloggers, I stopped following so many people because I can't continue to consume negative things. You can't fill your mind and heart with negative things and expect something good to come from your mouth. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. You have to fill your heart and mind with positive things, with, gracious things, things that would make you say good things to yourself. So don't forget that whatever it is you say to yourself is what would happen to you. For instance, I remember when I wanted to buy my first car, immediately I decided on the type of car I wanted to buy. I started seeing that car everywhere I went to. It felt like the car, was it that they just brought out all this car? What's happening? I started seeing the car. So my point is that whatever it is you think, you attract. The mind is so powerful that whatever it is you think about and you say to yourself, you attract to yourself. So you have to be mindful of what you say to yourself. You have to be mindful of what you think about. It's very, very important. You can't just let your life, go like that. You can't just expect that, things will change and you fold your arms and continue to blame and criticize yourself and expect your life to change. Honestly, it will not change. Okay? So just to, I don't know if you have questions. I've come to the end of my life. I've talked about how to break free from self-blame. The first is for you to acknowledge the blame, acknowledge that you're critical of yourself, acknowledge all of that. And then the second point is for you to separate your identity from your actions. So the first point is for you to acknowledge you criticize yourself. The first point is for you to acknowledge that you criticize yourself. The second is for you to separate your identity from your actions. The third one is affirm yourself and replace negative words with positive ones, just like saying that I made a mistake, but I'm not a mistake. I failed, but I'm not a failure. And then the fourth one is for you to make peace with the progress. Make peace with the progress. It's going to take time. You have to be patient with yourself. And the 15th is for you to start living like you're forgiven. So you have to continue to live your life, continue to show up regardless of the pain. You can thrive in your pain, you can heal, you can show up unhealed, you can be your best self, even if you're not completely whole, all right? So you can still show up that way. So you continue to live your life like you're forgiven. So those are the 5 steps that I shared. And honestly, the reason why I do this is because I know that being too critical of yourself, being too hard on yourself can impact your mental health. It can impact your mental health such that it will cause things like depression. It will cause, a lot of people are depressed and they don't even know. Hi, Oma. Thank you for joining. A lot of people are depressed. They don't know. Sorry about that. Okay. So what I'm saying is that a lot of people are depressed and they don't know. A lot of people have not even met the threshold of clinical depression, but they have negative mindsets. And honestly, I always say it and I will say it again, you can never rise above the level of your mindset. It's not a curse. It's not that I'm cursing. It's just the truth. You can't rise above the level of your mindset. And that's why I love this thing that I do. I'm passionate about what I do because I know that from that mind, if that mind can be right, if I can help you get your mind right, I know that you can achieve anything you want to achieve in life. Like once your mind is in the right sense, you can achieve anything you want in life. That's why I love what I do. Yes, I'm a psychiatrist, but I enjoy being a mental fitness coach more than being a psychiatrist, honestly. I enjoy being a I enjoy coming out to share important informations, important tips that would help you enhance your mental health. Because I know that once you get it right, every other thing becomes very easy for you. Okay, so do you have questions? Do you have questions? Honestly, I want to let you know that I've got an event coming up in summer. So we have Mindful Summer Experience coming up in summer. It's Tag, Renew, Recharge, Reconnect. It's an event that is transformative, that would help you prioritize your well-being, prioritize self-care. We'll talk more about self-love, self-compassion, and what you can do to continue to thrive. It's going to happen in summer. We haven't agreed on when the date will be, but first and foremost, I need you to go to the link in my bio and register. Just register. Put your name down to say that I want to be a part of it. We're going to have 2 event. There's going to be virtual and also the physical event. So the virtual event is for everyone. It's all over the world, but the physical event is going to happen in the United Kingdom. So it's going to be amazing. Summer is coming soon. We're already feeling the vibes. The weather is changed. It's getting warmer and warmer. So you need to reconnect. You need to recharge. You need to renew your mind. It's going to be a mindful summer experience. So go to the link in my bio and make sure you register. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Oma. I can see the thumbs up. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining. Have a fantastic evening. Enjoy your weekend. And in all you do, don't forget to be intentional about your mental health. Peace out, guys.